Oh, I was called up. And of course you get a choice, you see, because you can go in the Navy, the Air Force or the Army, or you can go in the Land Army or nursing. Well, I decided I'd go nursing, but the family wouldn't let me go nursing. I put down to be in the Air Force because I had three brothers in the Air Force. And I thought it would be nice if we were all in the same thing. But when I went for a medical, I went through all the medical and found that I'd been put in the army. Well, I didn't like that. So I went down to the advice bureau and asked, and said, well, I really wasn't going in the army. And so then I got a letter to say that I had to go in the Wrens.
I remember when it, when it first started, because I was on it at school then. But, I think I got a bit frightened at that time, wondering what was going to happen to my family. And, but like I say, I joined up and everything changed.
I was what was known as a Royal Marine Wren. Very proud of it too. I had that on my hat.
I joined the Wrens in October 1979. One of the last groups of females to go through HMS Dauntless in Reading, where we did 6 weeks basic training. Then went on to HMS Pembroke and did my training to be a Wrens stores accountant before my first draft to Scotland. My dad, I think, was secretly quite impressed. My oldest brother, he was chuffed to bits, paraded me around that, but that were him.
Well, my dad had been in the Navy, and I always fancied going in the Navy, and I managed to get in.
I volunteered for the Navy because my father was in the Navy in the First World War.
My principal job was to look after the naval personnel, that they had everything they needed, or if they needed anything to get that.
You go to all sorts of lectures and things, and then you get your uniform and you have to learn how to salute and how to march and things like that.
I was in signals because I volunteered as a writer because I was a secretary before I went in. But obviously they were needing people in signals. And I don't regret being, doing that.
I went in as a cook. I was a cook. And I loved it. I'd always liked cooking.
We worked watches, like the sailors did.
And you joined up with the Army committee for the camp anyway, and we used to organise visits from the local stars who were appearing in the theatres at Belfast.
We used to get tickets for the shows free, and if we weren't on duty, because we worked shifts there, 3 to 9, 9 to 3, and if you weren't on duty you could go to the theatre, and we used to go dancing, the Hammersmith Palais, all that carry on.
It was interesting. We were sort of down under, near where Churchill was. We never saw him, of course. I mean, none of us had been away from home before, had we? Yeah. And I mean, it was a complete change. I mean, I was homesick at first.
When you set off all on your own to find somewhere, and I think, how did I manage to get to London and then find my way to Chelsea? When I was young, we never went to the seaside for a holiday or anything. The only place we ever went was, as I say, was Peterborough.
Although Wrens didn't go to sea like they do now, I used to have to go to sea just on a daily basis to do some work, and I think it was one that was taken then.
It was, a great experience, which young ones now, I don't think you realise how great it is. It learns you a lot about yourself and self-respect.
When I was in Invergordon, they were doing rehearsals for the D-Day landings up in that area. So, it was quite important, the work there.
I did love it. And that second thing, the thoughts of going back, And they said, well, he could, but he'd have to start from the bottom again, I loved it. I loved being in the Wrens. I did. I loved everything about it. I still got some good friends. One of them lived in, she lived in Kent, and we met when we were both 18-year-old, and she only died a couple of years ago.
You make so many friends.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it, yeah.